Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Pagey here once again, and Justice League has been out for a couple of days now. In Australia, it's been out for about 4 or 5 days, and overall, I've seen it twice now. When this video goes up, I'll probably be seeing it for the third time on this day. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed it. There are issues. I actually love the movie because I went to see the movie to see the Justice League, see their chemistry, see them work together as a team to take down a foe, and that's exactly what I got. So, in turn, I love the movie. I know the movie is flawed, and that has something to do with what we're going to be going over today in this video. But yeah, it's one of those flawed movies that I still love. Now, it had been reported, I can't remember the exact time period it was reported, but there had been a mandate sent out by Warner Brothers to the people behind Justice League saying, yo, it has to be under 2 hours or around that area, and that's what Justice League is. With credits, I think it's 2 hours and 1 minute. So that's with credits. I think the credits are about 10 minutes long. So the actual movie is about an hour and 50 minutes roughly. And other reports have said that the movie was meant to be around 2.5 to 3 hours long. That was the Snyder cut. That was what Zack Snyder set out to make, around a 2.5 to 3 hour movie. And due to that, we're going to have some deleted stuff, saying that the movie is now only 2 hours with credits. So obviously, if you have not seen the movie, don't continue on with the rest of this video, because even though I'm talking about stuff that isn't in the movie, I'm going to be referencing it back to stuff that's in the movie and placing where these scenes would have been, if that makes sense. So yeah, if you haven't seen the movie, why not? It's been out for a couple of days now, but yeah, go see it before you watch the rest of this video, because as I said, it will spoil certain parts for you. Now, there are 11 scenes in total I'm going to be going over and sort of breaking down in this video. Obviously, these are not all of the deleted scenes. These are ones that have been leaked, the actual scenes, but I'll talk about how you can watch them towards the end of the video. So there obviously will be more that come out in the next, whenever I guess they come out. Maybe they'll come out sooner, leading up to the release of the movie on Blu-ray and stuff like that. Similar to with BVS when we got that Steppenwolf scene released on YouTube and stuff, we might get similar scenes to that. But at the moment, we're just going over 11. The first 8 of them are leaked clips, and the last 3 are from leaks from the VFX team, which go over some scenes we saw in trailers and what they centered around. So yeah, hopefully you understand that. Now, the first scene actually involves Cyborg producing this hologram. Now, what this hologram shows is himself as Victor Stone, not Cyborg, Victor Stone before his accident, in that GCU jacket, so the Gotham University jacket, walking through these buildings. Now, what these buildings turn out to be is like a Nazi base back in World War II. Now, they don't really make it clear what's going on here, because the clip only goes for a short amount of time. It doesn't really elaborate on what's going on. But what you can see is different pieces of art scattered through. So what I think is going on here is that the mother box from Earth is in this certain area. And that's what we're learning here, because obviously we know that Cyborg was created through the mother box, so he would have all the different history of the mother box through his system. So I'm assuming through this period of the movie, he would have been getting different visions of the different mother boxes and their history. Obviously, in Wonder Woman, there was an epilogue scene which showed Etta Candy gathering a group to go look for a mother box. So this could be the same mother box in the same area that they were actually going to. The second scene, once again, involves Cyborg. There's a lot of Cyborg in these deleted scenes, but it's Cyborg once again producing another hologram showing various weapons and technology. And it doesn't really, once again, it goes for a very short amount of time, but what I'm assuming is happening here, it's showing his control. It's showing what he could control in the vicinity. It does even show a Mercedes-Benz, and I think that's actually Bruce Wayne's car in the movie that he drives, specifically when we see him picking up Barry Allen. So I think this is Cyborg just understanding how much he could control, and I think it's really just demonstrating to the audience, if we saw this scene, how powerful Cyborg could be. He could destroy the Earth if he wanted to and just start a nuclear war without even doing too much. The third scene is actually Cyborg on a rooftop learning to control his newly found flight ability. Now, in the movie, it's actually the first time we see Cyborg when he's talking to his father. He's saying that he learned overnight how to fly. He started to levitate with the boosters. So I'm assuming this scene would have followed soon after that, and it's him going to the rooftop, sort of learning to fly. You could argue it was very similar to maybe Iron Man, when Tony Stark first uses a suit and he's starting to learn to fly. Sort of similar to that. In this scene, the CGI isn't finished. It looks a bit, how are you going? It's not that great, because once again, they probably cut this scene fairly early into the editing process, so they didn't even bother finishing the CGI. The fourth scene, another Cyborg one, is actually him as Victor Stone again, and he's looking up, he's in this water area, he's on the bay, and he's looking up, and all of a sudden he's just holding all these missiles aimed at him. And what he then does is like fling them away. So once again, this is like a dream sequence or like a hologram thing. I'm not too sure like what the premise of it and like the context of it is, but once again, it's showing his control on certain pieces of technology, which I think is pretty cool. The fifth scene, once again, another Cyborg scene, is Cyborg looking back and nodding to someone as the Justice League takes Superman's body into the ship. Now, what I think is happening here is that it's his father. I think it's Silas Stone. He's looking back and nodding. I think once they go in, he maybe encounters his father, and there might have been a bit of a conversation, and then his father understands and lets him continue what he's doing, because his father might understand that what Cyborg is doing is for the good reason. I'm sort of disappointed this scene sort of did get cancelled or deleted, just because we didn't get too much Victor Stone and Silas Stone in this movie, and I really think their relationship is a massive part of Cyborg being who he is. So I would have liked it if this scene was in the movie, but what are you going to do? Now the sixth scene, scene number 6, is a flash scene. So this is Barry Allen in a dog cafe. I thought that was funny. So it's like a cafe where you can go and get like a coffee and stuff, but then play with puppies and stuff like that. So I just find it hilarious that Barry Allen would be doing that. But what happens is he ends up speeding out of the cafe through the glass, as we saw in the trailer, you know, when he pokes the glass and it breaks. It's this scene that we saw in that trailer. And what he is doing is running out of there to save Iris West, who is actually collided with, to be specific, a hot dog truck, and her car has started to flip. So this is like the only Iris West scene that would have been in the movie. There were meant to be a couple more. I think one in like a library, to be specific, was another one we're meant to see, which showed Barry Allen's like attractive, that he's attracted to Iris West, but that, I don't even know if that got filmed or anything like that. But this scene was filmed. CGI was fairly well done. Like some areas aren't like fully rendered and fully done with CGI, but there was like a Kiersey Clemens who plays Iris West's like CGI model, which looked really good. So it was almost finished. So I'm surprised this scene didn't make the movie. I have a feeling that they didn't want to use Kiersey Clemens as Iris West anymore, so that's maybe why they cut the scene. They want to recast that character moving into Flashpoint, because she was cast by the old director of the Flash movie, who was like Rick Famuyiwa. I think that's what his name was. So I think that's why they cut the scene, just because they might have wanted to get a new actress, because maybe their new director didn't want her to be cast as that character. The seventh scene is actually another Cyborg scene, but it involves a Parademon, and what we see this Parademon doing is actually hunting down the last mother box. So they had the Atlantean one, the Amazonian one, and what they needed is the one that the Earth, or the humans had, might I say. And so this Parademon is hunting the last mother box, which we know is the one that ended up creating Cyborg. And what we see, he goes to an apartment and we see Cyborg inside of the apartment. So the Parademon is looking in, but all of a sudden then he leaves. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Now with all of these like leaked scenes, there was no audio, which is a bit disappointing. But what I'm just going to take a guess at what's going on here is that maybe he was called back, because the Parademon sort of like flies away pretty quickly. So I think he was called back by Steppenwolf, and that's why he didn't continue looking for the mother box. So Victor Stone or Cyborg got pretty lucky here. But what I think happens here is that Victor Stone or Cyborg goes home, sees that his father has been kidnapped, and this is like the connective tissue between him going to the Gotham City Police Department rooftop and meeting the rest of Batman, Flash, and Wonder Woman, and then he has the mother box with him. So that's where that scene would have taken place, just before that rooftop scene on the GCPD. And the eighth scene, which is actually the last scene from the leaked video clips, is actually a quick shot of Clark Kent, or Superman, looking back to Lois Lane when Martha arrives to Kent Farm following his return. Now, it doesn't really add too much to the movie. It's just a quick thing where Martha arrives and he looks back at Lois and like has a smile. It's not that massive, but it is in the leaked deleted scenes. Now, the ninth scene we're going to be talking about here is actually the first leak from like the VFX team. So what they're talking about here is the Let's Hope You're Not Too Late scene from Alfred, which is at the end of trailer number 3, and is actually not in the movie, which a lot of people were really annoyed by. Now, this was confirmed to be about Superman. This wasn't like a Green Lantern sort of Easter egg or anything like that, or Shazam, as a lot of people were thinking. This is 100% about Superman, so he was meant to go to Alfred, and then I'm guessing Alfred tells them where they are, and that's where Superman flies to. So I'm guessing that's what happens there. Now, this scene was actually cut almost a month before that trailer aired, so it's very strange that they kept it in, and apparently the VFX team was sort of annoyed that they kept it in, just because they'd cut it so early. So I don't know why they kept it in, but I guess it was to like get people excited about it and maybe think that Green Lantern was coming in. It's a bit misleading, I guess, but they kept it in, so what are you going to do? The 10th scene is actually the hologram scene that we saw in the trailer where, we see that red cape. Now, obviously, a lot of people thought this could be Supergirl. It's actually highly theorized that it was Supergirl. So many people believed it, and I think it even became like the favored option that it would be Supergirl. But this hologram scene is 100% about Superman. It's not Supergirl, it's Superman. I wonder what the hologram was about. Maybe it was just like a news report or something, like in a hologram way that Bruce was looking at. But yeah, so this was Superman, not Supergirl. So yeah, don't expect any like Supergirl deleted scene or anything like that. And the final thing we're going to be talking about is actually one that piqued my interest a lot, and I was like, oh, okay, that would have been really cool if we saw that. Even though the post-credit scenes for Justice League were awesome, obviously we had the mid-credit scene with Flash and Superman racing, and the end scene with Lex Luthor and Deathstroke or Slade Wilson was really awesome as well. But this final deleted scene was the original post-credit scene, and it was the one that was shot like originally. And it involved Bruce Wayne, or Batman, being woken up in the middle of the night in the lake house we've seen in like Batman v Superman and Justice League due to what's going on with Wayne Manor. And he's woken up by a green light. Yeah, a green light, and being visited by two Green Lanterns, non-human lanterns, who are Tom O'Ray and Kilowog. Now, don't kill me for using their 2011 Green Lantern movie versions. It was just the easiest ones to pick up. Now, we did see a Green Lantern in the Old Gods battle with, well, not the Old Gods battle, but the Old Battle for Earth with Steppenwolf, and that Green Lantern was Yalan Gar, I think that's how you pronounce him, or Yalan Gur. So that was our like first teaser Green Lantern, and if they had this post-credit scene, that would have been really awesome. But maybe they didn't want to give like too much Green Lantern stuff in this movie, and set up maybe the villains for Justice League 2 instead. Now that's all we have in regards to like deleted scenes or leaked scenes that didn't make it. Now a lot of people have been, wondering on social media and different platforms and stuff about whether we're going to be getting an extended cut of the Justice League movie. I for one would love to see that. I would love to see an extra half an hour or 50 minutes, even an hour added to this movie and just see what the original cut of the movie was. As you can tell in the movie, there are certain bits and just like missing, and certain scenes feel shorter than they should. But apparently it's actually very unlikely this is going to happen, which is unfortunate, but let's hope it happens. If enough people cry out for it, then I'm pretty sure WB will bring it because it will sell on Blu-ray. Like, they would be sort of silly not to bring it if it's going to raise the numbers that they sell on Blu-ray, especially if the movie doesn't perform as amazingly in cinemas as they wanted it to, and apparently it's not doing that well in cinemas, which is unfortunate due to some reviews. Now, I will leave all the videos for the first 8 scenes linked in the description below. The last 3 aren't videos, they're just, from the VFX team, like through words. But the videos for the first 8 scenes I talked about in this video will be linked in the description below. They should be under one link. If they don't work, which it could happen, the source could be taken down by this point in time or whenever you're watching the video, hit me up on Twitter and I will get you the videos, because I do have them on my computer and I can find a way to upload them for everyone to have a look at if that source is taken down. So my Twitter is in the description as well. If those videos don't work, you can hit me up there. But thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show your support. Let me know in the comment section down below, what are your opinions on the different deleted scenes? Would you have liked to see these different scenes in the movie? And do you understand why they were taken out, or are you a bit confused? There are a couple there where I understand why they were taken out, but then some I'm like, why did you take that out? Like, it's such a short scene to take out, which could have added so much more to the movie. But yeah, just leave all of your opinions in the comments section down below, as well as any other deleted scenes you know of. Just leave them in the comments. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys, and goodbye.